Hello everyone, it's Mark Scalero, the owner of MS Classic Cars, and today I'd like to do a very quick presentation of our 1970 Fiat 124 Sport Spider. Obviously a convertible, beautiful Italian sports car. This is our first Fiat we've ever offered from the MS Classic Cars collection, and I'm really proud of it. Let me just give you a quick background on how I acquired this car. A gentleman who lives in Barrington, Rhode Island, which is just about 10 minutes down the road from the dealership, called me. He's been following us for a while, said that he had a Fiat Spider that was in beautiful condition, thought it would make sense for me to purchase it because of its quality. He knew that I specialized in higher quality classic cars. So my first reaction with him on the phone was the car probably wouldn't meet my qualifications as far as quality goes, because most of the time, at least from my experience, when I look at these cars online, see them at auctions, etc., they just don't normally do what I would call high quality restorations. So he offered to bring the vehicle by to me and let me see it in person. He had acquired it earlier in the year. He actually bought it on Bring a Trailer, you know, obviously paid the fees, the shipping. He did a few little things to it during his time of ownership. But from what I gathered, he put about 700 miles on the car, took it to some car shows, enjoyed it around Newport, Rhode Island, where we kind of take our classic cars and do some cool things, because I also live close to him. I'm in Portsmouth, he's in Barrington. And then he said that he was going to acquire a new car. I think it was a Porsche. Didn't have the garage space, so that's why he was selling it, but he really had a great time enjoying it. So anyway, when he came on the day he was here outside in the parking lot, I knew within 30 seconds that I was going to buy the car. Most of the time, if I see something in person with, you know, obviously all my years of experience, I'll know within seconds if I'm going to be buying it or not. And the day, again, when I saw this, I knew I was buying it. So what I want to do quickly here is just kind of walk around the vehicle, just point out some highlights. I'm going to use this LED flashlight just to kind of go through it, and if I see anything, even if it's the size of a chip, a pencil, you know, tip or pen, I'll make sure to point it out to you just so I can be as transparent as possible. But once again, this vehicle has been sitting in our showroom next to vehicles that are in the $100,000, $200,000 price range, and it stands tall. This is a vehicle that clearly would be an award winner if it went to a car show. It actually could go to a Concours d'Elegance. We just went to the Audrain Concours that was actually in Newport, Rhode Island. It was a really cool event. Saw a lot of cars there, and this car is clearly nice enough to have been presented there. So again, this is a show quality car. Pictures really do it no justice, and I don't think the first time when it was listed on Bring a Trailer, people really understood how beautiful it is. So here we go. First thing I want to start with is the hood. It is in absolutely beautiful condition, and let me be very clear that our guys in the detail department are some of the best in the business. They did a full paint correction on this car, so I would say it probably looks better now than it ever has. They did an outstanding job, but again, I'm going to use this LED light, and I'm going to highlight for you the cowl area, which is in beautiful condition. I don't see one single imperfection on this entire hood. Normally, when a vehicle's been driven, and this vehicle has been driven roughly 9,000 miles since the restoration was completed, and again, it presents like a new restoration, even though it is an older restoration. We do have a tiny, oh, that's interesting. It's actually dust. I was going to point out a tiny imperfection that clearly doesn't exist. But now we're looking at the headlights. They're in perfect condition. The bezels here are in excellent condition. The front bumper is in beautiful condition. This grille down here is in excellent condition. I really don't see anything worth mentioning. Again, the bezels, this front end section here. Normally when something has been driven, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10,000 miles, you expect to see some chips, but on this car, it is absolutely stunning. We'll look at the driver's side fender here. Again, there's a little bit of dust. Flawless. Okay, absolutely flawless. Not one scratch, not one chip. There's no road rash to speak of. These rocker moldings down here appear to be original. They do show a little bit of patina. They were clearly, you know, buffed out and so forth, but I wouldn't say they're new. The wheels, on the other hand, are in excellent condition. These are authentic wheels. These are wrapped with Pirelli tires. These are really nice. Again, they look new. Looking at the windshield, which clearly was replaced, I would say it's near flawless. There might be the tiniest little, again, there's dust here, but it looks flawless to me. The windshield trim is original. I can tell just by looking at how it is. It does, again, show a little bit of patina. It looks like the wiper arms were probably replaced because they're super, super fresh. You got your VIN tag down there. Everything, again, looks really, really nice. To begin, when you take the LED light off, it actually appears a lot fresher. When you flash the LED light on the stainless, you can see where it does show a little wear. But again, it's in beautiful condition. Same thing with the vent trim. Mirrors look brand spanking new. I can kind of tell the difference when I look at them. I would estimate here that the door handles are probably original as well, maybe some new seals. But let's look at this door. The paint is beautiful on this car. Not one single chip, not one scratch so far. Again, quick look at the interior. This has all been recovered, refoamed. The seats are in beautiful condition. The top is in really nice shape. You can see that in all of our photos. The door panels are beautiful. The dash is beautiful. It does have two steering wheels. You can see that Momo steering wheel, which I personally like. The center cap horn button matches the color of the car. The dash does have some originality to it. There's a couple little sections that you see a little bit of patina, but the top of the dash is perfect. The console, again, you can read more in the description of what was done to this car. But again, looking at the driver's rear quarter, again, if I see a chip the size of a pencil tip or a pen eraser or anything like that, I will definitely point it out. This rear quarter to me is flawless. Looks like a new emblem. Again, these wheels are impeccable. Authentic wheels. Again, the tires look really nice. You can still see paint marks on the tires, some knobbies. Making our way over to the rear. It's in absolutely beautiful condition. Again, I don't see one single chip, one scratch, no imperfections to speak of. Got the Fiat emblem here. Appears these are brand new. You can see how fresh all the seals are. The lenses, the bezels look new. The bumpers in the rear appear to be new to me. Again, when I say new, we're going back to when the car was restored. But I can tell just by looking at things, typically if they've been re-chromed or replaced versus an original that's been maybe buffed up and so forth. Looking at the passenger rear quarter, again, everyone, we haven't found one imperfection as of yet. Again, the paint on this car easily would be reflective of a car that could be in the six-figure price range. Looks like these are in beautiful shape here. Oh, we might have found our first tiny little chip. So there we go. Our first one is right there. Again, pencil tip. Rear quarter. I don't see any chips here, any scratches. Again, that lower molding definitely shows a little bit of patina. Definitely original. These wheels are in outstanding condition. There is a little tiny spot here that is basically the size of like a pencil tip eraser. Again, I reference that as like a little imperfection in the paint, not a chip, but more of like a crater. Again, this was done a long time ago, so I wouldn't expect, you know, any further things popping up. That was probably something that's been there really from the beginning. You can tell that this stainless here is original. Again, Vent windows are original stainless around the windshield. Passenger door, flawless. Spectacular. Making our way over, this looks new, the antenna. Tell how fresh this all is. Looking at the passenger front fender. Beautiful. So that kind of concludes our walk around. Again, look at the wheels. Stunning. So if I were doing an inspection for somebody, I would say, in my opinion, this is virtually flawless. We've had cars, you know, again, in all price ranges, and even the best of the best cars have some imperfections. I would describe this vehicle as virtually flawless. So when I say that, again, we just went around this with a LED flashlight in a showroom that's lit up, and you can see where I only pointed out maybe just a couple of little things. If this vehicle had brand new trim, you know, on the vent windows, the windshield, the door moldings, the rockers, the door handles, and I was getting really fussy, I would say the outside of this presents like a #1 condition vehicle. So again, take my word for it. I'm a pretty good judge of character with what we've owned and sold at MS Classic Cars over the years. You can reference almost 900 vehicles on our website sold page, msclassiccars.com. Check it out. I would say that this interior of this car, again, if it wasn't just for a little bit of patina, I would say this is a real close #1 interior, maybe a super strong #2. You can see the engine compartment photos. I would say the same thing as the interior, a strong #2 in the engine bay, borderline #1. Of course, the trunk compartment in this car is beautiful. And at MS Classic Cars, when we detailed it, we did dress and refreshen the undercarriage. Not only did we clean it, but we did some light painting. We kind of just made it look a little fresher underneath. But I'll conclude on this. When you're looking at a classic car today and you want to buy anything that is restored to the level of this car, it would easily be a $75,000, you know, $100,000 to bring a car to this level. Because whether you're restoring a Corvette or a Fiat, you're doing the same thing. So at the end of the day, you're finding a car, you're paying for the car, you're doing the body work, you're doing the paint, you're doing all of the bright work, you're ordering wheels, tires, you're doing the full interior, you're doing the engine rebuild, transmission rebuild, rear end rebuild, all the suspension, all the brakes, the undercarriage. It essentially is the same amount of labor, and a lot of the parts costs are the same. If anything, some people might even argue that a Fiat would be harder to find parts for than, say, a Corvette would be, as an example. So to have anything that is in this price range at MS Classic Cars, it just doesn't happen very often. We're selling motorcycles in this price range. We're selling tractors. We're selling, you know, vintage coin-operated kiddie rides. So to buy a vehicle that's been done to this quality in the price range of kind of what these are, I think this is a great opportunity. So just wanted to do that walk around presentation for you. Stay tuned. Weather permitting, we will be doing a video over the next couple days, just a driving video like we normally do. It's going to be fun to do that. Of course, I want to wait for the weather just to warm up a little bit. Today's like in the 20s. So we will do that probably Friday is what I'm thinking. So stay tuned for that, and please follow us on all of our social media platforms. We'd appreciate that. Instagram, Facebook, sign up for our email newsletter that we have, and everything else. And if we can earn your business, whether it's on this car or whether it's something down the road, that's ultimately what our goal is. We appreciate you watching, and as always, rock and roll.